Wow.
This is great.
Okay, let's be honest. How many people are here to see Rosanna? Because that's...
Let's be honest. How many people are here to see Elvis Duran? Okay, so we're upstairs.
Sit down.
We're upstairs. By the way,
She always stands up when she talks.
I'm a New Yorker. I brought my bag outside with me because I don't know who's inside and might take my bag. Okay? So, anyway, Elvis and I are upstairs. We're looking through the room, and there's these beautiful pictures of Bill Clinton. He spoke here.
Yep, Henry Kissinger.
Yeah, okay.
All these huge Supreme Court justices, and then there's us.
And then we're like, oh, we can't do this. So all of a sudden, I turned to Elvis. I'm like, what's going to be my first question? And he said, you're thinking about this now? And yes, I am.
Before we get to that.
Yes.
Before we get to anything, just understand, you pay it up front. There is a no refund policy tonight. Okay,
all right.
Proceed.
So let's start at the very beginning, because I know that you started your career in Texas, where you were born, and you started really, really early with the radio.
You know, I was a weirdo. How many people here were geeks when they were growing up? You were just maybe a loner, you didn't have any friends, but there's 3 of you, great. You know what, my radio was my best friend. I spent a lot of time just listening to the DJs playing the hits and giving away tickets to concerts and trips, and I felt like the DJ on the radio was my friend, and I always said, I want to do that. So I started
early. How old were
you? I went to a Radio Shack, and I bought this little transmitter you put together with a couple of wires. It cost like $12.99, and a 9-volt battery, and you could actually speak into a little microphone, and it would transmit maybe 10 feet. You know, So I found a way to jack up the power, and I used to broadcast to my block. And I would send flyers out to my neighbors. This was at 10 years old, 11 years old. And after school every day, I would have contests, and I would talk into the microphone and play music. I'd hold the microphone down to the little record player. And I'd say, well, call me now on Mom and Dad's phone if you want to win, you know. So, and I'd give away Mom's, you know, costume jewelry or whatever the hell. That was my first foray into radio. And I was thinking, the block isn't enough. I want to reach more people. So I was thinking, if a 9-volt battery gets me around the block, what if I just plugged this son of a bitch into the electricity? And so I did, and it caught my closet on fire. It caught my bedroom on fire.
Seriously?
Yeah, we had a fire.
And what did your parents say?
They were very supportive, actually. You know, I never thought about that. They were like, he's onto something.
So why radio and not like TV?
Look at this, look at that.
Oh, stop. No. Seriously, you look great.
I don't know. You know, radio is more theater of the mind, where you paint pictures with words. You know, and you can dress however you want to dress. Sometimes you wonder, the TV people, they look fabulous from here up, but from there down, what the hell do they look like? I didn't want to worry about that.
Don't make me stand up.
You look great. I didn't want to worry about that. TV was never my thing. And now, the little TV I do is just all kind of a fun hobby, as you know.
Did you always want to do mornings?
Yes, I'll tell you why. I did afternoons and nights at this radio station, and when you do that, you're by yourself. It's interacting with other people in the room that gives you the energy. It's an energy that you exchange with each other, and that's where you have a real show. I have the superstars of radio who I work with every morning. Some of them are here tonight. Where are you? Are you guys here? Wow, that many of you came. If I wasn't working...
I helped Danielle.
If I didn't have them to work with every morning, I would sound like no one would listen. I mean, it's the energy that we give each other that is what works. So mornings is the most important.
Totally. So when do you think like you really connected? Because you have had like some of the most interesting people on your show, and you've had people like Lady Gaga, who comes on and says basically, I've always dreamed about being on your show, and I felt like when I was on your show that I made it, right?
Isn't that weird?
That's weird, okay?
Well, she grew up as a little girl in New York City listening to Z100, listening to Danielle. I remember when she walked into the room, Danielle said, "Hey, good morning, Gaga," in her Bronx accent, and Gaga started crying. She's like, "Oh my God, you're Danielle. I grew up listening to you. And this is Lady friggin' Gaga." And she said, "I've always dreamed of you guys playing my music."
But I do feel like celebrities come to you to kind of confess, redeem themselves. Justin Bieber, thinking of one of those people who, it might be in the pipeline. Maybe I shouldn't say that right now, but I know that you have something coming up with Justin Bieber.
You know, I think guests, and you know this because you're one of the best interviewers in the world, guests will tell you everything as long as you don't ask the questions to lead them there. You just have to relax them. You just make them feel good. You make them feel like they're comfortable, and then they'll just start talking, and that's when all the magic happens. You shouldn't start asking embarrassing questions. It backfires every single time.
Okay, so we're here to talk about you, and I wanted to talk about you coming out because, you know, we've known each other for 20 years, and I always knew that he was gay. He always knew I wasn't. It was not an issue.
That's the only way I could. Her husband would let me sleep with her.
They
Sorry,
actually
Lou.
get along very well, and so he had discussed over the years whether he should come out on radio.
You told me no.
And I did.
What was your
no.
reason? You told me not to tell people I was gay on the radio.
It wasn't like I wanted him to stay in a closet, but I just felt like he had such a family show. I had been going to a lot of his jingle balls at Madison Square Garden. And, you know, when you look at the audience, there's a lot of families. It's not our age. It's young kids with their parents. And I thought, I wasn't sure how that was going to go over. And so I suggested, why do you have to talk about that you're gay? I don't talk on the air about that I'm heterosexual.
You're what?
And I kind of like, you know, was in his ear about that. But at some point, you felt the confidence to just let everybody know every facet about your life.
You know what? I was hosting this show. It's a great show, working with fantastic people who opened up about their lives every day, and I never opened up about mine because I thought, you know, rather than turning it into the Elvis is Gay show, I wanted to be the host. I was never ashamed of being gay. I just thought it would detract maybe because of people with your thinking.
Well, thank you.
Well, and there are
No,
many.
I just felt that
It would detract from the show.
That's what I thought it was going to detract
So,
from the show.
Ellen DeGeneres is a good example. When she had her sitcom on years ago, she did the Ellen is Gay episode, and her ratings tanked after that because the press was all about her being gay. It had nothing to do with her being a funny.
A great.
I didn't want it to turn.
Right.
I didn't know what the condition of the world was all about at that time. But I was in a long-term relationship. I broke up, and I said, you know what? I want to talk about what it's like dating. But in order to do that, I need to be honest with my audience, and that's what our show is about. It's about being honest.
And that was about 5 years ago?
5, 8, something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
Anyway, so I started talking about it, and the funniest and best thing is there was no pushback. There was no negativity. It was the most uneventful coming out ever, which I think is great. You know.
Were you disappointed?
I wanted picketing. I wanted Westboro Baptist Church out front.
I have to say, I think you got even more successful after you came out.
You know what? I don't think it has anything to do with being gay. I think it has to do with just honesty on the show.
I was going to say that.
Because still, you know, look, I'm a guy who happens to be in radio, who happens to have a great life and great friends, and being gay is not in the top 5 things that defines who I am.
Totally.
So why are we spending so much time on it?
Well, I want to know about celebrity hookups. And I know you've had them. So just give us a little something.
Look, no one wants to know this. I'm never ever going to give that up. Maybe in a book.
In a book. Okay.
No, you know.
So you've had a few, without naming names, because I know, like, you know, we don't want to be sued. I don't want to be sued.
I don't think anyone's going to sue anyone.
Okay, because I sleep with the lawyer, so I'm always good like that.
By the way, I've had your husband too. So. I'm kidding, Lou.
Anyway,
look.
you've had a few celebrity hookups.
Why are you talking about this? What does it matter? A hookup is a hookup.
No, a celebrity hookup is different from a regular hookup.
Those were old days. I was young. We were drinking.
Okay. Speaking about young and drinking, I mean, we've all, I don't know, I can't see the makeup of everybody in the audience, but I did see a few people. I mean, we've all gone through the AIDS crisis together. In the 80s, I'll never forget, you know, the first person I knew to die was my hairdresser, and I was completely devastated, not because you know, the obvious, but because I really, really liked him as a person. And at that time, when you were diagnosed with AIDS, it was pretty much a death sentence.
I wasn't diagnosed, but if anyone was diagnosed.
If anybody was diagnosed, did that ever factor into your dating?
Oh, absolutely.
In the 80s?
Oh, absolutely. You know what, gay or straight, I mean, it scared the hell out of everyone. It should have, it better still.
I feel like people don't think about it as much now.
No, because
you can find that cocktail of medicine that kind of lets you.
No, the youth today, and we have a pretty good idea of what the youth's all about. The youth of today, they're like, I can take a pill and be fine, just like getting the flu, you know, it's no big deal. But no, that was scary. And I had a lot of friends who died of AIDS, and no, I survived, and I because I was
because
careful. I made good decisions.
Were you risky at any point? Because you were young.
I made very smart decisions. And I was lucky. But, you know, that was a scary time because, you know, AIDS not only was this horrible disease, but it really was a big dividing point between gays and straights. And
it was, but unless you were, I also had at one point had covered a young boy from Brooklyn who had gotten a bad blood transfusion, and he was trying to go to his public school in Brooklyn, and they didn't want him there because he had gotten a bad blood transfusion, he had AIDS, and they didn't want him drinking out of their fountain.
Yeah, well, no one knew.
Right.
I actually had a very big celebrity refuse to get into the car with me when we were driving him to the station for an interview because he knew
Why?
He knew I was gay.
Just because you were gay, not because.
No, he said I don't want to get AIDS, and he didn't get in the car with me, and he's still around.
That's going in the book.
Stop. He's still around, and I can't get mad at him because, you know, back then, not everyone understood it. You know, there are many things I don't understand. You know, that's just the way it was. I can't hold any ill will. There's no ill feelings there.
All right, so we're moving on from, you know, those dark days and talking about now, because I feel like you're doing so much in your life right now, not just radio, but you're doing a lot of TV. I see you on Extra. I see you on the Today Show. How dare you?
It's the hour after.
I mean, I like Hoda up to a point.
I know, but you're not on while Hoda's on, are you? No,
I'm not on at 10 o'clock in the morning, but fine, okay. And every now and then I'll like, Elvis, would you please co-host the 9 o'clock hour with me? We had fun that time.
We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, but no, I see you doing a little bit more TV. And is it something that you're thinking about?
No, you know, it's just fun. It's fun. I never get paid for any of these things. I've done the red carpet for Entertainment Tonight, for the Grammys. I've done many of these. I don't want to get paid for it. It's just a hobby. It's fun. So, it's extracurricular activities.
So what's the difference between doing radio and TV? Radio,
first of all, on our show, we call the shots. We don't have to watch a clock and be out by a hard out at 8 o'clock sharp, at 000 on the clock. We can change gears and we can switch lanes and we can do whatever we want. In TV, you really there's rules. I mean, you got to be conservative to a certain point. I mean, we just let it
And you have to think of visual terms as well. Like And not only that, but usually it's like, what, a minute and a half or 2 minutes when you're on, you introduce one of your...
Yeah, on TV, you go on, then they ask you to leave. I filled in for Hoda one morning. I was with Kathy Lee. I was filling in for Kathy Lee one morning, and I was working with Hoda. And I walked in, and you know they always have their Thursday wine day or whatever. They drink.
Thursday.
And I thought they were kidding. So I walked in 2 minutes before 10 o'clock when we were going to go live on Today's Show. I was nervous, like, what the hell do I do? What am I doing? Working with Hoda. What do you want to drink, Mr. Duran? I said, I'll have a vodka and soda. Just laughing about it, just kidding. So the show starts, whatever, and we go to our first break, and I need something to drink. I grab this ice water, and I drink half the cup, and I realize it's vodka and soda. They really do drink.
At 10 a.m.
At 10 a.m.
I know, it's crazy. Obviously, it's time to hear the people.
Yay! I'm so great.
Okay.
She's asking awful questions.
All right, this one. You're going to love this. Where do you want to retire? It's from Christian. P.S. I fucking love you.
Oh, hey. I'll be honest with you. I can give you a million places I want to live, but I can't think about the word retire. Do you think about retiring?
No.
First of all, I love living in New York. But you know what? I think Sonoma County wouldn't be bad. I don't know. I think I need a palm tree. Who needs a palm tree? Anyone?
Although it's, it's 60-something degrees outside in November, I don't think we have to move to Florida anytime soon. I think Florida weather's coming to us.
Florida people, I don't know Florida, they're crazy down there. They're batshit crazy in Florida.
All right, our next question. I don't know, they didn't put a name on here. Let me see if it's on the back. It's not. Okay, Elvis, seriously, who was the biggest perv on the show?
Me. No. Scary. Our producer's Scary. Is he here?
Hi, Scary.
Hi, Scary.
Oh, he's right there.
Before we leave, can I bring the? I got to bring.
Yeah,
them
I think you need to bring them up now. Bring them up now. All right, first answer the question. Who's the biggest perv, and then bring up the.
Scary.
All right.
Ask some more questions. We'll bring him up in a second.
Okay. Well, it's funny because I was going to ask you this.
Because this Hall of Fame thing, this Radio Hall of Fame, I'd never heard of it before. They're putting.
By the way, okay, he is so humble. So I'm talking to him Sunday night, like what we're going to talk about. Never mentions that he's going to be inducted in the Hall of Fame, the Radio Hall of Fame, on Thursday. I have to Google him to find out that he's going to be in the Hall of Fame on Thursday.
Hold on. Question. Has anyone ever heard of the Radio Hall of Fame? Be honest. I never heard of it.
Okay.
They said, congratulations, you're in the Hall of Fame. Like, well, what the hell is that?
Well, who else has been in the Hall?
Well, I like Jack Benny, Abbott and Costello, Dick Clark.
That's
then there's
huge.
like Ryan Seacrest.
So have you...
Anyway, so my Hall of Fame, the people I work with are my Hall of Fame.
That's so awesome. That's really nice. So really, when you get up there...
I love them.
So seriously, when you get up there on Thursday and you accept the award, what are you going to say?
I'm practicing that now. They're my Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Okay, next question. What do you have?
All right.
That's a big diamond. Is that real? Lou.
I was going to ask you also about Alex, because if you listen to Z100, Alex and Uncle Johnny are part of the morning show. And people want to know, how did you meet Alex and Uncle Johnny?
I met Alex online on christianmingle.com. No.
You did not.
We were Girl Scouts together.
You did not.
I met Alex on Facebook. Alex works at the Staten Island Zoo. He's a zookeeper. It's so great to date someone who lives this polar opposite life from you. This is why all these people in show business, they date other people in show business.
And it's boring. That's why I sleep with the lawyer.
And he's great. I mean, Lou and Rosanna are just, they're Ricky and Lucy. They really are. They're fantastic. But Alex is great. We met on Facebook. It's a long story, but we met. We have a mutual friend or two, and we've been together over 5 years.
I can't believe that. I mean,
and in gay years, that's like 20 years.
Now, where does Uncle Johnny come in?
Uncle Johnny, well, Alex used to come into the city from Staten Island and would go to the bars, but when he was underage, he only found one bar in the village that would serve him without checking his ID, and Uncle Johnny was the bartender there.
And it's so funny, when you met Uncle Johnny, you introduced me to him, I guess a few weeks after. And we went out, we went drinking, and Uncle Johnny told me about how he was in the TV business as well. Do you remember what cable station he worked for?
Yeah, do you remember Robin Bird, who's a good friend of mine, by the way? Uncle Johnny had a show on right before Robin Bird on cable access.
And it was called Gay Morning America.
Gay Morning America.
And I thought that was the funniest thing ever.
But this is back in the 70s. I mean, they would smoke pot on TV, and Uncle Johnny would make a chicken dish and drink, and it was... Unfortunately, his show did not become as popular as Robin Bird. By the way, Robin Bird, never as popular as she is now, because she got bitten by a raccoon 2 weeks ago.
I know. She's great.
And now she has all this press. But anyway,
all right,
next
Uncle
question.
Johnny, was it because of his background that you decided to make him part of your rotating cast?
He's just from another planet. That's what we do. You know what? If it crawls across the front yard, we eat it for dinner.
It's so funny because...
I don't know what that means.
We've been out to dinner with Uncle Johnny.
He takes his teeth out at dinner.
And that's what I was going to say.
So gross.
The first time that my husband met him, he was kind of mortified when, I don't know, he said something, he started laughing, and his dentures went flying
And his hair comes off.
And his hair comes off.
We call him Mr. Potato Head.
So I'm trying to figure out this next question, but I guess they want to know, Would you have sex, marry, or kill? And they list a few people.
I love this. Go.
Donald Trump.
Well, you have to name 3. And
Okay. Donald Trump, Ryan Seacrest, and Straight Nate.
Is Straight Nate here? Come here. Come here. Come here.
Come on, Straight Nate.
Come on. I would do Straight Nate. I love you. I love you. I would do Straight Nate. I would marry Donald Trump, and I would kill Ryan Seacrest.
Is there a follow-up to the kill Ryan Seacrest?
No, actually, Ryan and I are very good friends. Ryan Seacrest works so hard. I can't imagine working that hard. I enjoy my time off. Are you the type of person who can just go home and turn it off? You don't listen to messages anymore. You don't read your email. You don't think about work. I do that. I can vacation like that. I'm vacationing right now. But Ryan Seacrest, and he'll admit this, he doesn't vacation. He'll go on a big ship that he can afford and travel around the world with some skinny model, but he doesn't turn it off. I can't imagine living my life like that.
And thank you all for being here tonight for Elvis.
Thank you very much.